I'll just manage all this. Okay, so hey everybody, welcome back to the grand final of the Adroit's TT eSports Dota 2 Weekly. This is our first week of this weekly competition run every Sunday. We've got running at least 3 more times this February, so stay tuned in for those. But right now in front of us is game 2 of our best of 3 set for the grand final of this tournament. Out of Tango is going to be over on the dire side, and Infernity.International going to be over on the Radiant. So game 1 taken convincingly by OOT. It is a best of 3 set for this grand final. As always, I am Basekip, bringing you guys this game. And that's pretty much it as far as notices go. Remember that you can support both TT eSports and Adroits by following them on Twitter, following Adroits on Twitch. You can go to both of their Facebook pages, I believe, and then also Adroits TV on YouTube. Remember to subscribe there. Also following on Twitch, I think, as I already mentioned. So getting underway with the draft, we're going to see a Lone Druid and a Darkseer banned out by Infernity, and we're going to have Nyx and Barrett are actually the bans this time around for Out of Tangos. So Wisp notably does make it through into the pool. We saw the power of PL last game, and that was a PL without a Keeper of the Light backing him up. So keep the Keeper of the Light PL combo in the back of your minds as well as we head through this draft. Magnus did make it through into the pool. Darkseer did not this time around, so a little bit of a mix up there, and Infernity actually going to opt for the Wisp right now. Out of Tangos have the option of going for the Coddle PL right now. They could opt for a Nyx as their carry as well. He's not only locks out the potential for Nyx Wisp, which is a pretty good combo, and he's also great as a carry against relocate ganks. Luna fairly weak, a whole bunch of other carries fairly weak since they can't really survive an immediate relocate on top of them. Heroes worth mentioning as a carry that's great against like a CK Wisp relocate gank are Anti-Mage, Faceless Void, and Nyx. Nyx rages, the other two just jump themselves away using Time Walk and Blink. So Out of Tango is probably going to have to keep that in mind, though Infernity could take the Wisp pick and then still go Coddle PL. It is an option. It does invite you a little bit to be offensively tri-laned against, but you've got the Coddle for your defensive tri-lane, which helps out a bit. So Rubik is actually going to be the choice, along with Nyx for this game. And Out of Tangos, we'll see if they choose to run an offensive tri-lane off the back of these two heroes. It's already a pretty good setup. Or the option to run a defensive tri-lane. They have been they have been running the DS quite heavily so far in this tournament and had that reliably as their offlaner. So we'll see if the style adjustment is going to be grabbing a different offlaner for Flox, or if it's actually going to be running an offensive tri-lane and then giving Flox a solo versus solo up on top. So Magnus is going to be taken here by Infernity and the Chaos Knight, so that's going to be our combo carry for the Wisp. So Out of Tangos right now can throw some support bans and then probably some offlane bans. We've got one last pickup before we get into the next phase. Shadow Demon would be nice, but it would sort of lock them into a defensive tri-lane as opposed to an offensive one. And right now they could opt to pick up whatever mid they want to try and deal with Magnus. There are plenty of options in the pool. If they don't ban out that mid, then Infernity are probably going to be throwing mid bans left, right, and center to try and secure themselves an easy time for Mag. But, I mean, Out of Tangos could even look to run a duo mid Lifestealer +1 to shut down the Magnus. So we'll see how this all works out. Again, so offensive tri-lane is an option for Out of Tangos. Otherwise, they need to try and find an offlaner. They may need to find a mid, but a duo lane on mid is an option for them. Infernity right now looking for an offlaner, and then looking for their secondary support as well. So, Out of Tangos, what's the selection going to be? There are so many directions they could take the draft in right now. If they lock the Shadow Demon to try and help deal with the CK's aggression, then they've locked themselves in the defensive tri-lane, and that makes banning a little bit easier for Infernity in the next round. If they lock in a mid right now, that doesn't necessarily give away offensive tri-lane or defensive tri-lane, but it means that Infernity can throw offensive tri-lane support bans to try and cover the weaknesses of the CK Wisp in a laning situation. So we'll have to see. And again, Infernity, we'll see how confident they're feeling after what happened in the last game. They ran an offensive trial that had the potential to shut down a PL, but execution got a little bit sloppy. They lost first blood and the second kill, and that was pretty much it. So Jakiro is going to be the pickup here by out of Tangos. It's a fairly non-committal support, so that's a nice draft for them. Infernity going to choose to ban out. Going to choose to ban out the Disruptor right now, and we've got some ping spam happening in the background, as looks like the team have discovered that you can sort of jump around the minimap a little bit when you're stuck on this screen or when you're stuck on the drafting screen. But anyway, now we're heading into the ban phase. Keeper of Light's going to be banned out right now by OOT, so there isn't that. Okay, I'll cut myself off there. Here's the big thing for OOT. They picked up the Jakiro, which means that Infernity can't get it, and they ban out the best defensive tri-lane support in the Keeper of the Light. So Wisp is already very, very weak. They've gotten the second best alternative to the Keeper of the Light in a defensive tri-lane scenario by taking the Jakiro, and OOT could look to run an offensive tri-lane right now, depending on how they're feeling about their execution. Again, if you fail an offensive tri-lane, if the execution doesn't work out, then you've pretty much lost yourself the game. You've got 3/5 of your heroes who are underleveled, underfarmed, don't really have any space to try and recover because 2 heroes is not really enough. Even 2 heroes with a great start isn't really enough to free up space for a farmer and 2 supports to try and find their levels, especially since the supports need to be effective early game. That's when supports are effectively carries. So Infernity, they're trying to find a nice setup for their Magnus on mid right now, since mid wasn't the pickup for out of Tangos. So I already mentioned that one. And OOT just banning out defensive supports right now, and a Templar Assassin, in fact. So Gyrocopter is going to be taken here by Infernity. That might shuffle things around a little bit. It could be a support Gyrocopter, so a la No Tidehunter Ake Copter. But we'll have to see. If it is a support Gyrocopter, it leaves them pretty open to be offensively tri-laned against. It could just be the Magnus on the off lane. Gyrocopter heading towards mid. CK Wisp could actually be on mid as well. I haven't brought up that option either. So Infernity do have a little bit of flexibility as far as lanes go right now. And they could just look to evade the offensive tri-lane of out of Tangos if they choose to run it. Effectively treat that bottom lane like their suicide lane, run a duo mid, run someone solo down there to soak up some XP, and then run another duo lane as well up on top. And out of Tangos, looks like it is just going to be an offensive tri-lane with the Clink's pickup. He's probably going to be the solo safe lane, and then probably an offensive tri-lane run by OOT. Clink's does okay in an off-lane situation, but is absolutely dominant in those 1v1 situations, and especially against the heroes that Infernity have right now. They could opt for a Bounty Hunter who can give the Clinks a few problems, especially if he's pooled some regen and a Poor Man's Shield, but that would leave their lineup pretty melee heavy, and especially against a Rubik and a Jakiro, that is not a great situation to be in, especially with out of Tangos having last pick right now to grab whatever mid I suspect that they would like. I'm not sure what mid it's going to be. It could be something like a Brewmaster. They're not sure, again, 100% what it's going to be matched up against, especially with the Gyrocopter pick being thrown into the works. So it could be a CK Wisp duo mid, which is extremely difficult to lane against as a solo mid, and would be enough to actually break up an offensive tri-lane from out of Tangos. So that's a nice choice that's a nice option for Infernity. They're probably looking for a support right now, depending on how much farm they're looking to give the Gyrocopter. It would be nice to see them pick up some stun, I suppose, with this support, and again, the flexibility of the Gyrocopter makes their lineup difficult to lock down at the moment. So we'll see how it all works out. Out of Tango is probably just looking for another solo hero to round off their lineup, so no big surprises there, though we could see them pull something out. So Infernity, what's it going to be? It is actually going to be the Bounty Hunter, so they're looking for that solo versus solo for the Clink, so maybe running a defensive tri-lane, and then Magnus perhaps heading towards mid, which is a situation that frankly I think out of Tangos are going to be fairly happy with. Clinks can lose to Bounty Hunter. It's a matchup that the Bounty Hunter can win if played correctly. Anyone who's ever watched Funnick play Clinks will see some of the tricks that he uses to beat a Bounty Hunter. He gets pooled a salve, so he gets pooled a Wraith Band right from the start, And then once things start to get rough, once he starts to get towards level 6, and that's where the kill potential comes up for the Bounty Hunter, his support buys him a salve and ships it out on the courier. And Brewmaster is actually going to be the pickup here for OOT, since it looks like Infernity are locking into that 3-on-1 structure with the Bounty Hunter pickup trying to deal with the Clinks. So we'll get underway with the game in just a second. We'll hopefully I won't butcher the pronunciation on anyone's names. And look like we've had a name switch up somewhere, maybe just to try and help me out a little bit. So big thanks to Infernity here. But yeah, just waiting for the Jakira to be picked up, then we'll be getting underway. Hopefully I'll remember to switch over my overlays. And that's going to be it. We're going to be getting underway with our Game 2 of our best of 3 final for the Grand Final of this tournament. And boy, am I looking forward to it. Boy, am I looking forward to some sleep as well, but I won't let that bias me. I would like to see a strong showing from Infernity and hopefully see a Game 3.
5 seconds remaining.
And just a few seconds left. We'll get into the game regardless whether or not Jakiro is picked up. So, hey everybody, welcome to the game. Over on the side of, well, first overlays. Over on the side of out of Tangos, Frigolite is going to be playing the Rubik. We're going to have Steph Style playing the Jakiro Floxplox on the Lifestealer. CYSO is going to be on the Brewmaster, and Maglev Ganktrain is going to be on the Clinks. So the carry player actually taking up the Clinks, and Floxplox, the typical offlane player, going to be playing the Lifestealer. So I was interested to see what he was going to be playing, especially given that he's been playing Darkseer pretty much for the past 3 games, but this is actually the adjustment here. Over on the side of IN, we're going to have K playing the Chaos Knight, Matori is going to be on the Bounty Hunter, Dr. L is going to be on the Magnus, Sedeca is going to be on the Gyrocopter, and Rio is going to be playing the Wisp. So as far as lanes go, it's probably going to be Bounty Hunter heading up towards top. He hasn't actually been pulled anything, which is a little bit unlucky, and Clink hasn't been pulled anything either, so that actually leaves this top matchup on pretty even footing. It could be a lot worse, and that bow is tiny. I have to say, that bow of Searing Soul seems a little bit undersized, but Clinks isn't compensating for anything, so it's going to be an offensive tri-lane right now for OOT. I'm interested to see if they have sentries and obs, and Frigolite actually being blocked in by Floxplox, who is AFK following, so yeah, we've got some ping spam going out there from the Rubik. We do have sentry wards picked up on the Wisp, and some obs as well. Looks like it might just be a support gyrocopter. There's some observer wards going to be dropped off there, so it is going to be an Ake copter, if you would like to call it that. And this is a really weak defensive tri-lane for IN, but it didn't really have all that many options left in the pool. Again, as we saw, the Keeper with Light was banned out, and the Jakiro was picked by OOT, and even the Shadow Demon being banned out as well. So all those defensive supports being removed from the pool. There is a ping straight out on the ward right now, I believe, from IN. It's a little bit difficult between yellow and the yellowish sort of color on the dial to tell who's pinging what, but anyway, it's extremely defensive right now for IN. They're going to be hugging underneath the tower. They probably won't be able to run all that many pulls, though we'll see how the execution will work out for OOT in this trial lane right now. Invis is actually going to be the first rune for Matori, heading up towards top. A little bit redundant, some might say, but we'll see how it all works out. And Mag just trying to get the lay of the land, hanging out by the tower as the creep wave walks its way in. So it's going to be tri lane versus tri lane down on bot. And a pretty good tri lane, I have to say, for OOT. Lots of good kill potential, lots of stun, lots of slow, lots of damage. And not really all that much defensive power for IN right now to try and keep people off, or try and keep heroes off their CK. So Wisp goes around, he's going to try and find the D ward, but the ward is actually in the trees, and he might waste one Tango coming into here. He will. Now he needs to go and check the second Tango location. Is he going to find it? Looks like he might. Maybe. Maybe not quite. He's going to go around, check if it's in the camp. Maybe use his second sentry to see if it's one of these wards. Wisp looks a little bit befuddled right now, and this is definitely in favor of OOT so far. So Wisp already using one sentry, doesn't spot out the ward. It is actually in range, obviously, so he just needs to cut down those trees and try and find it. In lieu of using a Tango, he can opt to just bring the gyrocopter across and then get a tether all the way through the trees, cut most of them down, and then try and find the ward that way. We've got a Reality Rift going out to start us off. The dual breath up on Frigolite. The rocket is going to stun him as well. Who's going to be the first blood here? Frigolite dropping low, just turning around for the right clicks, but the first blood actually going to be drawn there by Zedica, and now up to level 2, putting down some good damage with the rocket barrage. Staff deciding that they're not done just yet. Floxplox staying on top of Zedica right now, but in comes K again. Reality Rift going to be up in just a second. Rage not available. Floxplox only level 1. Is there going to be a Reality Rift? The huge range, the tether stun, and another kill picked up by IN down on this bottom lane. So similar to how we saw, Trilane versus Trilane work out for OOT in the last game, now working out in favor of IN. And I really want to see this tether through, cut down the trees, and get some pulls running right now for IN, that they are already in a pretty good spot. Again, just with that level advantage. Level 1 still down on all these supports. Well, still down on the Rubik. And level 2 picked up by the Jakiro and the Nakes, but that's about it so far. And just a minor advantage translates in a big way on these early levels in a Trilane versus Trilane on mid. Brewmaster doing a pretty good job. He's got a double damage up in his bottle. And we've already seen this matchup once or twice today. So again, not a whole lot of kill potential going either way. Heroes are locked in this Trilane versus Trilane down on bot, so they can't really influence all that much rune control. So it really comes down to player skill in this mid matchup right now, and they're pretty much dead even as well. Up on top, Matori doing a good job of harassing down Mag. Looks like he might just pick up some Tranquil Boots, perhaps. Unfortunate though, he wasn't pooled anything, and hopefully support's going to be keeping close eyes on him. They do not want their Clinks to die, especially with the tough time that they're already having down on this bottom lane. So Floxplox continues to try and farm. Rio continues to try and find this ward, but he hasn't found it just yet. He's going to throw out the center. He thinks that it's in this region, but it's not. So he knows where it is now. He just needs to actually cut down those trees. He needs to bring the gyrocopter across to try and do that. But things working out pretty well for OOT. Oh, sorry, for IN right now on this bottom lane. We've got some pings going out on Sed. But that's pretty much it so far. CK not really suffering all that much in terms of farm, though every lane actually working out fantastically for OOT as far as just last hits go. Steph in a little bit of trouble down on the low ground. There is going to be a homing missile, but CK needs to get in position for a Reality Rift, and Floxplox just standing his ground right now. Nice open wounds, keeps the CK away from his Jakiro, and the Reality Rift is up, but both teams just posturing a little bit right now. Neither one of them wanting to really engage, and the random factor on the Reality Rift as well could screw them either way. CK could end up underneath the tower, get telekinesis back. Floxplox, the initiation is going to be on him, but a nice ice path connect as well. Nothing left for Frigolite. And Floxplox looking for this kill, but a 2-second stun up on him. A few more right clicks might find this one. Wisp rolls big on that hit, and Gyrocopter able to slink his way back. Still 4-1, charges up as well, and the Ice Path not doing all that much damage. The dual breath through. K drops low. Is he going to die? Still keep watching those ticks. Frigolite comes back in. He's got the lift in just a second, and now maybe going to drag Rio back into this fight, but the tether back, and looks like Rio is going to be absolutely fine to make his escape. So 3-0 the score right now for IN, though everyone is ridiculously low, and this looks like it might be a trip back to base for the entire team right now. So that's a little bit of farming space for OOT and to catch up on those levels. Quick check in up on our top lane. Mag now doing okay, 25 for 5. Bounty Hunter 18 for 1. And level 6 is now up, so going to be picking up that track. And this is where the kill potential does sort of start to emerge, but what if we got flying up towards top? It's actually going to be a Soul Ring for Mag, sorry. So going to be looking to make use of that as far as staying survivable in the jungle, and I guess using it as a mini Hand of Midas, I suppose, if you want to call it that. We do now finally have heroes making their way back down towards bot for IN, but it was a really long walk, and they're actually using a smoke to get at that little bit faster. Didn't really have all that much gold. It's boots, tether, and smoke to get the move speed to make their way back down. Here, the ward has now finally despawned. 6-1 urn up on top, so Brewmaster finds himself a lucky one there. We're going to have a homing missile out on Floxball, so actually heads off into the trees. He has one Tango. He's going to be reality drifted back in. Rage conveniently timed to dodge the homing missile as well. Nice body block there from K, but an Ice Path is going to free him up enough space. A 3-second stun as one last act of defiance there from K, but that's going to be pretty much it for that gank down on bot. So, OOT doing a pretty good job, and CK actually really low in terms of CS. I didn't realize how low. I mean, they found kills, but only 6 for 1 right now on this Chaos Knight. And Lifestealer all the way up at 29 for 4. So, OOT bottom lane, they haven't found kills, but they've actually succeeded in their objective of shutting down the Chaos Knight. And up on top, Mag now left alone a little bit. Matori has actually made his way down towards bottom lane right now to try and find a few track kills. But Mag's going to be calling this, saying, Bounty Hunter isn't here, guys, just be careful down on bot. Sentry Ward immediately thrown down from OOT. They know what's going on. They get rid of the lane ward, and I think they caught a glimpse of the Bounty Hunter as well. So call it luck, or call it intuition. They're going to be able to avoid that gank, and Matori wastes a lot of time and just completely relieves the pressure that Mag was feeling up on top. So this is going to be speeding his Orchid along fairly nicely, and already doing a pretty good job as far as CS goes. Oh, we're going to reverse polarity popping off on mid. Brewmaster does have his ultimate, however, so he's going to pop off the Primal Split. Now looking for that counter kill. Can he find it? There's a stun up on Dr. L, and now some TP support coming in. The two pandas going to work. Matori staying on top of the Earth Panda, and this panda needs to keep running. It's actually, well, the pandas are actually being microed right now by CY. But fortunately, he does regen up a little bit during the ultimate, so not as low when he came out as when he went in. We've got a reality rift story going off down on bot. Seneca, maybe a little bit of target. Cops, a dual breath, and K stuck in the trees. Can they find him? Ice Path not quite there just yet. The tether comes through, and the overcharge healing him up a little bit as Rio dropped. Now Steph in trouble, and Frigolite not enough to do anything. Those spirits going to dunk the Jakiro, and now looking for the Rubik as well. 1 second stun might be all they need, however. No defiant acts for the Rubik right now to try and find a kill. Gets a lift, but that's pretty much it. And 7 for 0 the lead right now for IN. And up on top, Klink's dying at the same time. We've got Matori and Dr. L finding a nice gank. And that's mid lane and top lane both working out fantastically for them as well. So pretty much every lane working out great. CK, while he hasn't found all that much farm, is finding levels and is finding kills. And we're going to have another walk back to base for the Wisp-CK pair. OOT, well, down, but definitely not out. The Brewmaster ultimate not going to be up for another minute and a half, so that's a bit of a detriment to them. And Matori now finding some farm up on top lane. We've actually got Mag heading down towards bot, looking for a gank at the moment. And this is extremely aggressive play for a Klinks. Might just try and find himself a little bit of farm. We do have a little bit of adjustment right now from OOT. Looks like they might, again, try and find that level 6 up on the Rubik, which they do, well, they do quite frequently do. Just try and find that quick 6. Got an Observer Wood down right now, and Dr. L now in trouble. The Reality Rush, however, goes on mid. The Skewer through as well. 4 seconds stun up on the Brewmaster. He's going to drop, and Mag trying to just right-click the CK, but it's not working out for him. He's just going to dodge back in the end. And I'm not sure if this ward is going to give sight for IN on this rune, but we'll find out. We're not going to find out for this one. The DD's actually spawned up on top. But I think that should be enough. It'd be a bit of an oversight if it didn't for the side of IN. So DD waiting for them up on top. And Wisp actually has the bottle, so looking to make as much use of that tether link as he possibly can, and getting the early point up in the overcharge as well, since you need to be below full HP to actually transfer your regen, which is something that something that a lot of Wisp players, a lot of new Wisp players don't necessarily understand. So a little bit of a tip there. OOT, 3 heroes grouped up on mid. They do have the Primal Split available, and it's actually going to be a skewer down onto the low ground. Step style now in trouble. Mag standing his ground, trying to right click down K, but he's being healed up by the Wisp and Brewmaster. Brewmaster comes out of the pit looking for a kill up on the Chaos Knight. Does he have enough damage? Wisp still healing, and he's actually sent up into the air right now. Kill does go down, but Brewmaster might be the next one to follow. The two pandas pretty much already dead. Throws up one more boulder toss. Doesn't have a lift. The stun through. Flox blocks Comes in looking for Rio, finds the open wounds, one more right click going to do it, finds that kill, and Track keeping Seneca right on top of the Brewmaster right now. Just to see that he doesn't just use the rocket barrage to find the kill, but doesn't even need it. And now Step Style, you are not in the position that you want to be in. The skewer through onto Floxplox, but one more Track kill going to be going the way of IN there. And 8 kills, still the lead right now on the board. Gold actually swinging back towards even right now, so it was actually in favor of OOT for a while just by virtue of farm. And XP pretty much dead even as well, so despite the 8 kill lead on the board right now, OOT do manage to find a tier 1 tower up on top at the same time, so that's where Frigalite was this entire time, getting his level 6 up as well. And just going to be stacking up this camp at the same time. Floxplox makes his way into the jungle. Mag has his first Oblivion Staff finished up, so it's a pretty slow Orchid timing for him, frankly, but he's being active around the map, trying to make things happen. And yeah, never mind. So, okay, finding a little bit of farm up on top. They do now have that relocate available, so they can look for those ganks at any time. Warding, not really that aggressive for them right now in terms of finding those pickoffs, so we'll see if they're going to be able to do so. There are still tier 1s up for OOT, so they're not going to be that far, well, they're not going to be that far back behind the tier 1s. They should be visible more or less, but it'd be nice to see some wards up in the dire jungle to try and find those relocate picks, since it should be a kill pretty much every single time it's up, unless you're going for the lifestealer, obviously, who does have a lot of tools in his arsenal to try and escape. And Clink's not bad either in that regard. Mag comes up, and OOT looking for a pickoff here. Wisp might just give away his life to save the Chaos Knight. Nice reality Rift stun in over the top, but Wisp is going to be coming back, and I don't think he's going to be bringing friends. At the same time, two heroes, Bounty Hunter and the Magnus, do find a kill on Brewmaster on mid. Primal Split still off. Still on cooldown. Wisp goes back straight to his doom, so a noble sacrifice for him to save the Chaos Knight, but Relocate going to be on cooldown for another minute there, so I guess a little bit of a lost opportunity, though IN did find another kill on mid at the same time, and looking for this tier 1 right now as well. Frigalite actually given a lot of space to farm right now on this Rubik. Makes his way down towards bot and actually prioritizing the Rubik a little bit over finding farm on the Nake. So he's just in the jungle right now, along with Mag. We've got some ping spam going out right now from, looks like it's from K. They do have vision of the CK moving up and around from this ward, so Frigalite should be fine. He's just going to duck off into the trees at the moment. Dr. L making some great progress towards his Blink Dagger right now, so he's going to have that up fairly quickly. And a pretty good timing for him. Frankly, we've got a Vlad's finished up for the Bounty Hunter, so IN not looking to relent at all as far as the pressure goes. The Vlad's means that they can look to pick up Roshan as soon as they've secured the outer tier 2s, and the relocate ganks should hopefully mean that they're fighting into uneven odds at every single turn. And Mag still just looking for ganks, looking to be active whenever he can, as opposed to trying to finish up this Orchid. Though he didn't really miss out on all that much farm by making his way up towards top. Missing a couple of last hits now, which is slowing him down a little bit, though not necessarily considerably. Having a quick check in on the net worth, Bounty Hunter actually on top right now. 0 for 0 for 4. A lot of track gold in his coffers right now. And we've got some pings going out. The relocate is available. Magnus picks up his blink. 4 heroes grouped up down on bot to try and find this tier 1, but being conscious of the relocate at all times, Spirit's just giving a little division. And the tier 1 going to be claimed by the Radiant, though it does look like K was looking for that last hit. So OOT doing a pretty good job of just evading their opponents right now, since they do feel that they're a little bit of they're at a little bit of a disadvantage. It's not all that significant. It's about a 2k gold swing, a lot of that coming from the tower, and only about 500 XP in it. So OOT doing a good job of just finding farm in the jungle, finding those levels. Brewmaster is almost up to level 11, so he's going to have that second point up in the split fairly soon, though Bounty Hunter does also have level 11 for that second point up in the track. And Frigalite, is he going to throw down a random sentry ward to spot up Matori? We've actually got a relocate coming in, the track on top of him as well, trying to make it escape, but the reality is in over the top. K finds himself a nice track kill there. We've got some dust popping off as well, and Wisp and CK going to be going back to whence they came, which is actually down into the Radiant jungle. And Mag making his way down there right now, but it's a little bit too late. Rio's actually retreating off. Floxplox looking to put some pressure on this tier 1 down on bot, making his way towards an armlet at the moment. He might be able to force out a couple of TPs, but the tier 1 on top already in trouble from K. And 4 Radiant Heroes just waiting around here as well. So it might be a tier 1 for a tier 1 trade, depending on how quickly Floxplox can get down and get this damage out. And looks like Ian should be fine to claim this one. Everybody has TPs up as well for OOT, putting the pressure on bot, and the tower still fairly healthy, but Maglev comes in as well. The fortification is going to pop. It might be a bit of a trade here. Fortification not available anymore for OOT, and TP is actually going back onto the tier 2, so nobody feeling brave right now. Looks like the tower is going to be claimed. Finally a TP coming into the tier 1, but one already canceled. Floxplox is going to just pop off the rage and TP himself out. So a nice easy pick off there from OOT, though the tier 1 was claimed on top at the same time. CYSO has his Blink Dagger finished up, which is frankly great given the position that he's in this game with 3 deaths to his name. Haste and try and make his escape. He could actually haste into the Radiant base and then try and get his Blink, but just going to be a haste and TP away. So nicely played by him. And Mag does now actually have his Orchid finished up, so he gets a little bit of bonus damage and now stalking for kills at every turn. He sees K down on bot. Does he have enough damage to kill off the Chaos Knight? Perhaps. We've got Brewmaster coming in with the clap, with the blink. K now in trouble, and the Orchid bonus damage doing a lot there. Rio comes in, used to relocate for that one as well, but one more right click, going to be finding his death. So Wisp, a little bit over ambitious for him, and a double kill picked up for Maglev. So looking pretty good right now. Looks like I had a little bit of frame drop in amongst that last engagement, but hopefully that won't continue right now. And we've got some ping spam going out. There is no tier 1 to claim for OOT down on bot. The support Cherokop, still trying to find his farm, but not really doing all that much. Up on top, Floxplox now getting some items online for himself. So net worth actually going fairly well for OOT at the moment, I would suspect. And actually taking a little bit of nosedive back towards their favor as well, after cresting up around 4k in favor of IN. Now we've actually got lifesteal picked up for Clinks right now, which is frankly weird, but okay, we'll see where this goes. But I'm a little bit bemused, frankly. You'll have to see. It could just be a Vlad's to try and support his other heroes. A 4-second stun out on Frigolite on mid. Ice Path buying him a little time, but that's going to be pretty much it. Dr. L doesn't actually have his blink up just yet, but the reality of drags the Jakiro a long way back to his doom. So the 2 supports killed off on mid. Nice pickoffs there from IN, but OOT's heroes actually just playing the evasive game at the moment. Brewmaster does have his Primal Split available. And Mag, what's he going to do? He heads down and around the back. Matori actually TPing in towards top to try and deal with Floxplox. The tier 2 tower on mid has already been claimed, however, and Mag actually just going to be looking to backdoor the tier 1 on mid. We'll be able to do so. There's no backdoor protection on tier 1 tower, so that's fairly easy for him. And was that a Mask of Madness that I just saw? That's a Mask of Madness. So Clink's not even really looking for the lifesteal here. He just wants maximum attack speed all the time, which is a little bit strange. Lifesteal doesn't stack with his orb. If he turns his orb off, he gets lifesteal. Flaming arrows, searing arrows, sorry, does stack with Orchid, does stack with Scotty, sorry. But yeah, this is a little bit of a weird Clinks build, but we'll see how it works out for Mag. And it's pretty good in terms of finding those pickoffs, which is a similar style to what IN are going for right now. But they do have some pretty good group up and push, and Matori, another target up on top, running straight away from the Clinks. Not necessarily enough damage, and we've got Mag trying to orb walk a little bit, doesn't actually have any anti-invis. We've got a kill at the same time, going out on the Brewmaster down on bot, not using his ultimate there, so still holding on to that one. And Brew actually being caught out a fair bit. We can have a relocate going up, looking for Mag, but he's just a little bit too fast for that one, and also with the Mask of Madness move speed, is going to be pretty difficult to lock down. So OT playing some nice sort of defensive grouped up Dota right now, realizing that IN might be looking for offensive wards to try and find relocate ganks. They do have one over here, which is nice, but nicely played by OT, using the sentry to try and spot those out. Floxplox still making some pretty good progress towards his next item. What's Bounty Hunter got? He's actually going to finish BKB. So that is a lot of farm on this bounty. Well played by Matori. K is up on top, and Mag looking for this kill. He's going to pop everything, but K just a little bit too tanky. Pops off his armlet as well. And Mag just isn't able to find the right heroes to find these pickoffs right now. And not really finding any farm because of it. Bit of a group up on top right now for IN. They've got all 5 making their way into the dire jungle. They are all being spotted out by these creeps, however. So suspecting that someone is in the camp, they don't spot anyone with the spirits. And OOT, again, still just playing the evasive game. They're going to actually head down into their Roshan pit, and Brewmaster trying to sneak as close as he can to Rosh before finally engaging. We've got Maglev making his way in there as well. And with the Searing Arrows, Strafe, and Mask of Madness, Roshan should fall fairly quickly, and actually just popping off everything there. He's not actually capping out his attack speed by using them both. So, making very, very quick work of this one. And yeah, Roshan barely anything that he can do. And this is a pretty happy trade, frankly, for OOT. They may not even have to give up this tier 2 to grab the Aegis. So, nice little reaction. And again, still playing evasively. They get the Aegis up on the Lifestealer, and he's just chilling out right now, checking out what's going on. Is he TPing straight into the enemy team? Yes, he is. Floxplox manning up right now. He does still have the Aegis available. The Reverse Polarity thrown out on 2, but Frigolate actually managing to grab that one, gets it off right as he dies, and Steps dies as well. Maglev going to work. Dr. L might drop at the same time. Jim Trueside on the ground. The dust pops off, and out pops Floxplox. Now looking for Matori. Going to be Reality Rifted back in. The gem still on the ground. It's going to be destroyed by Flox, suspecting that he is going to die. And one more track kill going the way of IN, but a 5-3 exchange. Well, 3-6, I suppose, if you want to count the Aegis as well. Going the way of IN, and actually managing to secure the tier 2 at the same time. So a nice attempt from Rubik with the reverse polarity, but forced to sort of throw it in a panic, since he was just taking so much AoE damage, especially just from the gyrocopter. A lot of the sort, well, that being a big source there. So Matori just can do whatever he wants right now as Bounty. He's got BKB, so even if he gets trapped, he's got a nice escape mechanism there, and actually just going to be stealing the Dire Ancients at the moment. OOT do have a lineup that's able to sort of turtle and take this towards the late game. Bounty Hunter, Gyrocopter, and CK are all going to get fairly scary, and K deciding that he wants a little bit more farm in the jungle, forcing Rio to stay right on top of him and heal him up. There, Matori is going to be spotted out. There is an open wounds, but he's just turning around straight away. There's a sentry ward down as well. There's going to be a lift, and the BKB finally does pop. The relocate going to be coming in over the top. The Rage not ready, and the relocate still. The Reality Rift stun there from K. Floxplox stunned up. Rage still a few seconds away. Doesn't actually have a TP available either, and that's going to be another kill going the way of Matori. And we've got Clinks and Brewmaster trying to make their way in, and Matori just going to be running away. I don't think the Orca damage is going to be enough, and Mag now just turning around to Mag, who pops up his Ghost Scepter. Matori comes back in. Reverse Polarity does connect along with a 3-second stun, but Brewmaster comes in. The clap finds 1 kill. Now Mag on the retreat. The Panda ultimate does pop off. Mag, come back, try and do some damage. K trying to make his retreat. Omelet toggle ready. A few wand charges up as well. The Panda ultimate still chasing right now, but the Storm Panda being blocked by the Earth Panda, not able to get in range, and that's a little bit unfortunate there. Brewmaster now the target. Seneca coming in. Skira doesn't actually connect, but the homing missile just almost there. A little bit longer to try and find that blink. Looks like he's going to be fine to escape. And Frigolate grabs the shockwave, lift up into the air. Mag joins the fight one more time, but now dusted up, looking for a kill up on the Wisp. But actually, we've actually got a tether stun going through with the Reality Rift. Call down in over the top, along with the... God, I'm losing it right now. Floxplox still going to work on K. Seneca trying to make his escape. Yasha move speed helping him out a lot in that regard. We've got one more Reality Rift flying through. K drops low and will actually die in the end. Dr. L killed up by Frigolate. Double kill for the Rubik. Can he make it a triple? No, that one actually picked up there and by the Brewmaster, and he's not done. Spots out Rio, who is going to try and relocate himself away, but one more shockwave through is going to find Frigolate that triple kill. So OOT Only a 10 kill discrepancy for them right now, but pretty much nothing as far as XP goes, and 7.5k gold the swing. I'm just going to try and find some chapstick if that's okay. Sorry about that, guys. Not super professional for me, but it should be just around here somewhere, so just give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. I desperately need chapstick. My lips are getting chapped, and it's slowing down the casting a little bit along with the tiredness. So, Brewmaster's almost finished up his Ags, so that's a pretty nice pickup for him. Matori 3.4k in the bank, the highest as far as net worth goes in this game, and it's just been finding track kill after track kill after track kill after track kill, and now making his way towards a Desolator with those 2 Mytho Hammers. Rio, not a whole lot of farm, but almost has his mech finished up. And K almost with that BKB online, which is going to be a big help, especially with these ganks coming from the Clinks, who looks like he's now working his way towards a BKB. Matori going to be spotted out by some sentries. Floxplox comes in as well. Sanj actually being worked towards by him right now, so we might see a Heaven's Halberd coming out as well. Sanj and Yasha not terrible on Lifestealer, since Manta is actually okay on Nyx, though. We'll see which direction Floxplox is going to be taking this one. Matori just scouting out a little bit right now, and the rest of IN making their way up into position as well. They're going to get a Reality Rift off. A 2 seconds down. Floxplox is going to drop before he can even get a Rage off. Nice Ice Path connect on a few, but to relocate, putting an end to this escape. Nice lift up into the air. They've got the Brewmaster ultimate available to call that in over the top. Friggly going to be caught by the reverse polarity as well. That's 2 heroes wiped out. That's 2 more heroes wiped out. 3 dead at the moment, and IN looking to turn this into a Rax as well. Who's got buyback, in fact, for OOT. Desolator finished up for the Bounty Hunter. Brewmaster has buyback ready to go, and he's going to jump straight back into the game. Does have the Panda split to try and slow things down as well. Fortification going to pop off at the same time. Nyx only 20 seconds away from respawning, and the reverse polarity already being used by IN, so we'll see how much they're willing to commit to this one. The Phantasms will pop off there, so the tier 3 does drop. Now onto the Rax, trying to get the Brewmaster to initiate, but still doing a good job of holding on right now is OOT, and still Breath and Ice Path going to be enough to force IN back. And Mag looking for a pickoff on a straggler right now. There's going to be a TP out attempted by Matori. He's actually going to cancel it, but Wisp is dead regardless. 3 seconds stun flies out. Nicely played. Now Brewmaster in with the chase. This is looking pretty good for OOT. Can they find some more pickoffs? K still being chased down. The Ice Path cutting off that escape route, and now a 2-second stun. Ripper getting a little bit unlucky, but finds the lift, and a double kill there for Maglev Gank Train. Nicely played, making his way towards his BKB, and OOT finding a great punish on that escape. So good awareness there. A little bit unfortunate for IN. Roshan is about 4 minutes away, so there's a potential for them to try and go for that. Sedeka has his Manta style finished up, so again, this is the nice thing about having a support gyrocopter, is that he actually brings damage to the table if he gets the early farm. Surprised that the defensive tri-lane frankly worked out so well for IN, but really paying dividends right now. And what is also paying dividends is definitely this track on the Bounty Hunter. Only 1 death to his name, and all of those assists. It's a lot of track gold in the hands of the Radiant side. And that's translating into about a 10k gold lead for them at the moment, with pretty much nothing in it as far as XP goes. So still anyone's game right now. Mag just making some progress towards his Refresher Orb. Actually almost has that one finished up, just needs to farm about another 1200 gold, which frankly isn't really all that much. Matori now spots out Mag, who immediately jumps into the invis. There's no gem or any anti-invis up on the Wisp, so they need a track to try and find that kill, and without Chainstone as well, Clinks can just pop Skeleton Walk and the Mask of Madness and just saunter away, though he's at max move speed anyway with just Skeleton Walk, so he doesn't really need to pop the MOM. So Floxplox still just farming up right now. Looks like it might just be the Heaven's Halberd for him as that next big pickup. Going to be a big help against the CK, both in terms of shutting him down and in terms of that survivability just from having the evasion. So doing a good job in that regard. And OOT, again, this is the reason that they're still in it as far as XP goes, despite the gold lead being so significant. Because they're finding farm all around the map. They're they're making use of their ancients, they're making use of their jungle, they're making use of everything that they possibly can. They're even making use of the Radiant jungle a little bit. We saw Maglev in there slightly earlier. So really testing the limits as much as they possibly can right now. And actually doing a little bit better as far as warding goes. This is the Radiant's vision right now. And this is a problem. It means that they can't really find relocate ganks. They're playing a little bit of 5-man Dota at the moment. They know that Roshan is about a minute and a bit away, so probably turning their sights towards that one quite soon. But yeah, OOT doing a good job of staying in the game. Heaven's Halberd now finished up for Phlox, BKB almost online for Mag, and now some pings going out on the Roshan pit. IN looking to investigate, looking to capitalize over this one as well. We've got another gem picked up by the Wisp here, so looking to do a little bit of dewarding in just a sec. Oh, they're actually going to spot out Mag. Oh, he needs to get out. He needs to get the hell out right this second. 5-2 move speed, trying to make his escape, and that was a little bit of luck, and just, yeah, that was, let's call that a little bit of luck. It would have been unlucky for him if he'd been caught out, but lucky that he actually managed to find an escape route without any stuns to lock into the chain stun. And it's a big deal because if Klinks had died, he might have been forced to buyback, which he doesn't actually have, and then Roshan would have respawned, and Klinks would have been dead, and then Roshan probably would have gone the way of the Radiant, and that could have been game. So that was a very tense moment, frankly, for Maglev there.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Toria just scouting out a little bit right now.
Dire's
Dr. L up to level 16 has his refresher orb online as well, so that is absolutely terrifying right now, especially if you're on the side of OOT. And even if Rubik can steal the first polarity, he can't feel confident running in to try and get the second one, try and get his off, since the second polarity would be coming soon. And he doesn't really have any positioning items either. No Force Staff, no Blink Dagger, nothing like that. All of the farm is actually up on the Jakiro right now. So Rubik is effectively playing the 5 role while Jakiro is playing the 4, which is frankly a little bit unusual, given how much farm we saw Rubik getting early on. That he's actually opted to be picking up the wards as opposed to the Jakiro, who has been getting a lot of farm, actually has a Ghost Scepter online right now. Ian managed to make their way into the Roshan pit, and the Desolator and Vlad's making quick work of that one. CK with the Aegis online, and this is a nice 6-minute window for IN to try and push up onto the high ground. Again, there's no tier 3 up on the top barracks. So a pretty good option there. Rio does need to go back and get a little bit of mana before going for anything. And just helping K through these creeps a little bit there. And K making some good progress towards his next item as well. Probably just going to be the heart, I would suspect. So, OT, Phlox, not a whole lot of item progression to speak of. We've got a Ghost Scepter up on the Rubik, so no positioning items for him. It's just straight survivability. Pretty defensive right now from OOT. We've got level 16 up on the Brewmaster and an Ags, so he's got that very incredibly powerful Panda split right now, and staying right on the heels of the Magnus as far as effectiveness goes. They've both got that next big item up, along with the 3rd point up in their ultimate, so effectively rank 4 ultimates, I guess, if you want to say that, for both mid heroes. And both of them contributing in a big way to this game. It's going to be a full 5v5, well 6v5 man fight in just a second, and we'll see how this all works out. Oh, this is tense times. I mean, they could even just initiate with the CK. He's got the Aegis, level 16 up now as well. So that next point up in the Phantasm coming along pretty soon. I said Heart earlier, but it might actually be a Manta Style, the next pickup for him, especially since he's dealing with open wounds and a potential Heaven's Halberd. And Manta Style pretty much dispels everything aside from Universal 2 buffs, which can only be debuffs, which can only be dispelled by death. So that's like Rupture. So he should be able to split out of the Heaven's Halberd. Brewmaster jumps straight in, and in out pops Phlox. Brewmaster ultimate going to work, and Maglev in from the side. The Panda ultimate's stunned up there. The second reverse polarity thrown out as well. Now Stone Frigolate trying to get in. Does actually manage to get the polarity down with the Tool Breath and the Macro Pyre in over the top. K is going to drop at the same time. 4 for nothing right now, and Follow Rhea going to make it 5, trying to pick off K as well. What a fight for OOT, and this is looking great. They managed to grab themselves the gem as well. Super aggressive initiation, but paying off in the end, and Mag off to the side in a perfect position to capitalize as well. We didn't actually see the second ultimate used there by the Magnus. He popped the refresher but couldn't get the second polarity off. And Rubik, not sure how he got in there and found that polarity, but nicely played by him. Really turning that, well, not necessarily turning the fight around, but ensuring victory there. And Mag now making his way down towards the Radiant Jungle. Probably just going to try and claim this tier 2 since nobody's going to be respawning quickly enough. And nobody should be stupid enough to just run straight into the jungle when there's 5 heroes roaming around the map. Fortification is going to pop, so Mag turns his attention to the creep wave. And again, he is just an absolute killing machine right now between the Mask of Madness and Strafe. So Setika's going to come in. He might be able to try and find Deny. TP support coming in as well. The Deny not quite there, and Mag just going to be able to make his speedy escape as Magnus tries to find, well, Dr. L tries to find a skewer through. As far as vision goes right now, it's OOT's turn to make sure that IN are completely blind. And this is part of the problem for IN right now. They've given the gem away to OOT. They can't get any aggressive wards down to try and find a relocate pickoff. And these straight team fights haven't really been working out for them. OOT just showing better teamwork, better positioning, I suspect, as well. Especially in this fight that happened over here. I mean, that was ridiculous. Mag coming in at the perfect time. And Matori looking for a pickoff right now, but there's 2 heroes here. Who's got the gem? It's neither of Frigolite or Maglev, but that's going to be about it. And Brewmaster playing up pretty aggressively right now. He's got the gem in tow. The aura is applied to his pandas during his ultimate, so that's a nice reason to give it to him. He shouldn't really have any chance of losing it in these fights. And Frigolite actually does still have that reverse polarity available. Almost his Blink Dagger finished up as well. And he's still got the reverse polarity for a little while. There's a smoke going out right now. It's pretty aggressive from OOT, but they've got the Panda Split available as well, going forward aggressively, and the double damage up on Mag. This is trouble, and IN on the retreat. Is there going to be a pickoff anywhere? Mag still going around. Dr. L looking for the initiation, but doesn't actually know it. Doesn't know how much trouble he's in right now. Mag still just getting out. He's going to walk up under the high ground, but there's no anti-invis just yet. Now the double damage going to work. Floxbox pops up onto the high ground along with the Panda Split. Setika trying to keep himself alive as best he can, but K just being worked down. The reverse polarity used by Frigolite there in with the Macropyre. The dual breath in over the top, and now Matori trying to make his escape, but pops with the BKB. Now lifted up into the air. The one reverse polarity going to thrown out by Dr. L, but that's pretty much it. The skewer back onto Floxbox, who just goes to work with the open wounds. The Ghost Scepter is going to pop off, but Frigolite's going to have a lift in just a few seconds, and now Dr. L out of that Ghost Scepter going to be right-clicked down, and the Panda from the high ground gets a nice boulder toss off. OOT evening up this game in a big way. Matori trying to man fight Maglev, but Clinks with Searing Arrows and Strafe and Mask of Madness is not something that you want to mess with. Setika coming in to try and slow things down, but it looks like it's going to be the first Drax of the game. Claims by OOT, and now to lift up back into the air. Gyrocopter drops low, can split out of the Ghost using the Manta style, though it is on cooldown right now. Melee barracks already taken, and OOT looking to make this a pair as well. There's no tier 2 on bot if they like to turn their attention there. Roshan not really an option for them at the moment, though everyone is tracked up, and CK is about to respawn with a relocate available on Wisp. So if anyone is wondering why they're backing off right now, that's part of the reason. CK could respawn and he could be anywhere at absolutely any time. OOT know that IN are a little bit blind, and Floxplox deciding better of that TP, not raging first. It's actually a little bit of a bait perhaps, and the infest up in to the escape boat, the getaway vehicle, whatever you want to call it. Getting Floxplox out of there very, very quickly. He won't get any health from popping out of the clink, so it's probably going to be a nice taxi ride all the way back to base for him, or just to these creeps. Yeah, the infest damage is going to be wiping out those range creeps, and Clink's off to the next station right now. So 1 Rax in favor right now of OOT. Roshan about 3 minutes away as far as farm goes. Floxplox has 5.2k gold up in the bank. Net worth, well, yeah, net worth pretty much swinging straight back to 0, so no difference in gold earned. XP 15k in favor of OOT, and this lead paling in comparison to anything that we've seen before in this match. It isn't really translating into all that many levels aside from points up on the supports. We're going to have the second point up in the third point, up in the Macropyre fairly soon. Brewmaster making his way towards some more auras right now, so it's going to be an AC to try and help out the Nakes and help out the Clinks, so I definitely like that pickup. We've got an ultimate orb picked up by Maglev. And it's actually going to be a completed Scotty for him. Wow. And again, as I mentioned earlier on, Searing Arrows completely stacks with Scotty. So he's got Burn and Frost. Well, Frostburn, whatever you want to call it right now. And Ian just forced to deal with mid lane at the moment, which is really hampering their potential to find relocate ganks. And again, they lost the gem. They're completely blind, and I've managed to screw up my function keys. There we go. Again, completely blind, and forced to reveal their smoke there since they realize there is actually something watching. They've got one more gem online right now. So looking for these pickoffs, but not sure if they're going to be able to find anything. And all of OOT playing some 5-man Dota of their own. Frigolite has his Blink Dagger up now, so if you thought the positioning was good for those last couple of polarities, should be even better now. And Rubik needs to be a high priority target in these fights as well. He has really been doing a lot of damage with that polarity, and having a double polarity as well makes it even more likely that he's going to be taking it, frankly. Magnus is already having is already going to have mana troubles getting a two full combos off, just given the mana cost on the Refresher Orb. And if he's not at full mana, doesn't have Arcane Boots up, then he may not even be able to get the second one off. It's a similar problem that the Enigma does have. And OT smoke ganking towards mid right now. Roshan going to be up in about a minute and a half, so that's probably a fairly big target for both teams. Though if OT find a big pickoff, find a big team fight, they might actually be able to go in, and there is a gem up, so Maglev is walking straight into the middle of this one, and now Reality Rifted into the stomp. Brewmaster Ultimate comes in, the Reality Rift thrown out, but Frigolite immediately finds the steal, turns it around to call that in over the top. Absolute chaos with the Macropyre over the top. 2 for 2 the trade right now. Metori's going to buy his way back into the fight. K dropping low, the Panda Spirit's just going to work. Nice Ice Path connect on 2, and Seneca trying to do the best that he can, but now just throwing down the Rocket Barrage, and Floxbox having none of this. He's got a heart, he is just so ridiculously tanky. We've got Metori sent up into the air, and Panda Ultimate still going to work right now. Flox going to try and make his escape. The reverse polarity actually thrown out to cancel that TP, but looks like he can just turn around and go to work. The Skewer and the reverse Skewer and the Reality Rift. This has bothered me for far too long. Oh, Brewmaster, you cheeky so-and-so, you. The relocate comes in to try and find him. He did manage to grab the tier 2 tower. And Ian looks like they're just going to try and charge down middle lane right now. There are buybacks available for the supports over on the side of OOT, but Roshan, Aegis and Cheese in hand, and Nake's going to be dead for the full duration right now. They will have to try and mitigate bot lane at least a bit, so Nake should respawn at least after Rosh, but looks like OOT actually making their way towards there right now, and it's actually pretty slow for IN at the moment. Though almost dead. How aggressive is Brewmaster feeling? They get the site with the Ice Path. Can they jump down into the pit? Roshan is fallen to the Radiant, but Aegis still on the floor. Brewmaster goes in, he picks up the Aegis. Nice steal, is going to be stunned up, but should be able to just blink his way out. No, actually blinked in. He might die a second time. In fact, nice Ice Path flies through the Macropyre in over the top as well. Brewmaster just looking to make his triumphant walk to safety, and actually finds a kill on Metori there with just the stomp. 3-second stun up, and Frigolite now coming in from the side. Seneca dropping low. K now lifted up into the air, and Seneca will drop Dr. L, now the target of Steph Style. Gonna pop off that Ghost Scepter, but not helping him out 1 inch with the shockwave flying through from Frigolite finding that kill. The gem on the ground. But nice overall exchange, in fact, for OOT there. Nyx is now respawned. Buybacks available for Jakiro, but Brewmaster going to have to wait around for a minute. But 3 of IN dead, and they don't have buybacks either, so it's 2 heroes looking to defend right now. And Maglev, the gank train is coming. Choo-choo, spots out the gyrocopter and spots out the Wisp. Nice split out of the silence. So well played there by Sed. But Mag still just going to work. Some pings down on bottom lane. Still waiting around for the rest of Ion to respawn. It's about 30 seconds the window right now. And it's pretty tense times for Gyrocopter especially. He actually managed to grab the cheese in amongst all of the chaos. And Fluxblocks has Infest available. Are they going to look for this fight? It's only 15 seconds away. The clock is ticking. And they might wait around for Brewmaster. I think CK is perhaps a little bit too close, and they're just going to choose to back off. So, tense moments. With a big gamble, OOT could have gone for a game end, but it could have blown up in their faces just as well. So, OOT choose to play it safe and they will back off. So, Maglev still finding some farm. Would be nice to see him swap out those tranquil boots, but he might just wait around until he can grab travels for that one. And 3.2k health up on this Clinks with a death pact. Absolutely ridiculously tanky right now, and a lot of that coming from the Scotty and from his BKB. As far as farm on the CK goes, he's making his way towards a heart, but it's not all that quick. Magnus doesn't really have all that much left to pick up, and it's just sort of Ghost Scepters galore for everyone else over on the side of IN. So, AC finished up on the Brewmaster, so still not really any buybacks on the board right now. What you see is what you get. And speaking of what you see, the Radiant side don't really see all that much at the moment. Again, they can't find relocate ganks, and they can't really find pickoffs, which is really weakening their overall strategy. They're going to throw down 1,000,000 sentry wards to try and go for this next smoke. I would suspect, yeah, it's sentry ward after sentry ward after sentry ward. They do not want this next smoke to be spotted at all. If it is even going to be a smoke, did they have any available? No, smoke restocking in 5 minutes and 40 seconds, so if there's a smoke left, there's no smoke on any heroes. So that's 5 minutes to wait, guys. You've set up, but just trying to hold the defensive line right now, I suppose. OOT playing aggressively. We've actually got an infested Brewmaster right now, so they're actually looking to go for something, and the smoke. There's a line of sentry wards up at the moment for IN. This is not necessarily an unpassable wall, but it's looking pretty good. And if they can find another pickoff on Mag before the fight begins, then that's going to be great shakes for them. But yeah, I am looking for the defensive team fight right now. They need a huge double reverse polarity, but if they find it, what a team fight it will be. And then we might see a turned around reverse polarity from the Rubik. And I'm excited just thinking about it. Then some Brewmaster Micro, and then some Macropire, then some Ice Path, then some Call Down. It should be exciting stuff. Still a smoke right now for OOT, but does now find, well, does actually wear off. Rio comes out, needs to be careful. There's the center ward, so he's going to be able to try and deward the obs. Do they actually still have that gem up? Yeah, they will be able to kill that off with one right click from Mav. So they actually managed from Mag, not Mav. So managed to keep that observer ward up on the high ground and slowly breaking through this IN defensive line. Top lane, pretty much irrelevant at the moment. Creep's not anywhere close, so it's all about getting creeped in the base through some other method, and that's the problem right now for IN. Just trying to mitigate this middle lane. So, OOT, perhaps a little bit indecisive for them right now. It does show that Nakes has his Infest up again. He can stay in Brewmaster indefinitely, so infesting early might mean that he has enough to get a second Infest up. Looks like top lane is actually going to push out in favor of... Well, it's actually going to push out in favor of the Dire right now, and IN come in looking for this barracks, using the relocate, pop up the Phantasms as well, but fortification is available. OOT can just keep an eye on this. Relocate already goes back. They don't even need to. The Phantasms are just going to keep activating backdoor protection and heal it all the way back up to full. So that's pretty much it. I guess a valiant effort from IN, and I guess showing some desperation tactics right now. But yeah, fortification was available for OOT. That was never really a problem for them. And now Brewmaster looking for the initiation. He's going to go straight for out pops Flock, and now heading straight on to Setica. There's one more Infest available as well, if anybody was wondering. Reverse polarity out, but now Frigolite manages to steal, doesn't manage to get it off, and Mag actually dead as well. Brewmaster ultimate now going to work, working on an illusion. In fact, the second reverse polarity down catches Flock's puck and a whole bunch of spirits. One more stuck in there as well. Flock's maybe gonna drop. He's got one more Infest up. He's managed to hide in Seth style, who pops off his Ghost Scepter. Flox jumps out, trying to find some health, but will be right clicked down by Matori, and a big wipe going in favor of IN. Mag trying to make his way back down there, but not enough, and the reverse bloody duration actually enough to kill him off. And now IN going for this relocate again. This one might be marginally more successful with creeps heading up back. Well, fortification is still available, and Brewmaster's got a homing missile coming in a very long way. Relocate's actually going to take the CK and the Wisp all the way back, so Brewmaster's going to be fine to clear this up, but going to be stunned up by the homing missile, and it's still only a rank 1 missile, so not really doing all that much. Maglev still wants these kills. He's playing so aggressively. If he gets picked off now, he's already used his buyback, and that would be disaster for OOT, but he's doing a good job of holding everyone off right now. You could head down towards bot as well, try and force TP's back, stop Ian's push. Since Snakes doesn't actually have buyback available right now, though he will be respawning in time for the next team fight. And Roshan's still about 3 minutes away for anyone interested in that. But yeah, we've got some pings going out down on bottom lane right now, and Ian maybe realizing that Mag could just be waiting down on bot to try and take that Rax. So, getting a little bit of farm up in the jungle right now. Can't really farm towards buyback at the moment, so it'll just be the next item for him, and that next item is a pretty long distance away. CK has that cheese in his inventory right now and does actually have enough to finish off his Heart of Tarask as well. Matori, no real item progression for him, though 4.2k gold in the bank. We've got the gem up on Rio. We've got, well, still just pretty much the same items for Doctor, and everybody looking for buyback right now. And 4 buybacks available for the Radiant, none for the Dire. The Brewmaster will have his up in about 50 gold, but this is a pretty bad situation for OOT. The last few pushes have been repelled successfully, and the story of the game so far has been whoever's pushing in gets wiped. Whoever's pushing up onto the high ground gets wiped out, and the defenders then immediately push out and try and take something, though it has worked out a little bit better for OOT so far. Everyone's completely blind right now. We've got one Radiant Ward spotting out a couple of things, but that's what sort of happens when you're 4 or 5 gems deep into the game. OOT still waiting around for this Roshan, but it's still about 1 minute and 20 seconds away. Though Ion are going to be forced to deal with mid lane this entire time, which is a little bit of a help for OOT. And we've actually got Brewmaster waiting up on the high ground right now. Just going to blink himself down, so not going for anything too silly there. Oh, this is the last smoke for IM, but they haven't dealt with mid lane yet. So Doctor's got to come across and do that by himself, because these 4 heroes are smoked, and they are going for an adventure. And top lane's going to push in as well. This smoke is frankly too early. Someone needs to come up and deal with this, and Kay's going to reveal himself off. He's going to reveal the fact that he's smoked. There was no ping, no, there weren't any pings going out. But that's their last smoke for a while. It was on cooldown, and it's 11 minutes away until they have another. That was a little bit of a misplay, frankly, from Rio, and that might cost them. Especially since there's no sentry wards or anything like that down for OOT. They could have found a great initiation with that smoke, but again, just forced to deal with these lanes and a little bit too gun-ho in terms of trying to get towards that Roshan. But we've got the heart finished up from K, and again, there are still buybacks available for the majority of the Radiant side, so this fight a little bit skewed in their favor right now. Roshan being used as the battleground in the narrow confines, really helping out the Magnus a lot. Frigolite is hiding up in these trees right now. Okay, is he just going to run up onto the high ground? He needs to be careful. They're going to spot out the Observer Ward from OOT, so now they're the ones playing a little bit scared, playing a little bit blind. They don't have sight of any of Ian's movements right now, and Ian, Matori going to be moving into the Roshan pit. They know that it's up. Oh, this is always interesting to watch, because there are 2 possible angles of attack. You can go up and around, or you can go down. And both teams are going to be maneuvering around to try and find the flank of the opponent. Though Mag, he's actually all the way down here. Oh no, Ian, they're going to draw all the way up around the top. Mag needs to make a movement right this second. If the initiation comes in this angle, then he's not going to be able to find pickoffs all that easily. It's going to be a long walk, and that could be trouble. If he finds a silence on the Magnus and they kill him before a single reverse polarity, that's a disaster. And this fight is balanced on a razor's edge right now. So Ian, the other option for them is just go mid, frankly, and just force OOT to TP back and deal with it, but no, they're coming up and around. Brewmaster trying to evade. We've got an open wounds up and a nice ice path connects as well. Their first reverse polarity thrown out only on Floxbox. Doctor hasn't actually covered that one just yet, but Flox is going to drop nothing just yet. There's the steal. There's the reverse polarity. Huge damage, but not on top of the Macropie. The ice path does connect. Doctor almost dead. The mech pops. The second reverse polarity connects. Nothing but pandas and Maglev, so he's not doing any work right now. Only 1 dead so far, but Steph's going to drop as well. K now going to work on Maglev, who's just trying to survive for the moment, and Rio running circles around these pandas right now. Buybacks coming out from IN. 4-second stump on Frigolite, who is surviving for now, but they are going to find that kill in the end, and OOT Everyone's dead without buyback. I think this is just going to be GG for IN, but they need to get creeps. IN the base right now. Guys, creeps. You need creeps. Guys, you need creeps. Oh god. Okay, so they're just going to try and man mode this one. Rack's going to be fine. They do have enough damage at this point, fortunately for them. And so it's one Rack's down, making their way up to mid as well. We've got some empowers flying out, so this should be fine. Two backdoor, but is slowing them down a little bit, and OOT might have one last chance to try and make a stand by their Ancient. They do still have Fortification up as well, so they can slow down this push at least for a while. Now onto the Racks. OOT, this is last stand mode for them, but if they can wipe out IN, oh, it's not even going to help all that much. There's buybacks available on IN right now, so this looks like it's going to be GG, and IN just going for the mega creeps to try and ensure Fortification still up. OOT going to be respawning in just a second. Fortification now use Ice Path thrown out as well, but nobody can afford to die right now. All they need to do is stave off megas until Mag respawns, so doing a good job there. Floxbox is going to jump forward, trying to keep the melee barracks alive. Nice lift up into the air, and now the jump in from the Brewmaster. Doesn't have the ultimate up just yet. Just a few more seconds, and K dropping low. Nice macro fire, and over the top. Reverse polarity stolen. Connects on 3. One already dead. Nice ice path as well. Dr. L dropping low. Matori going to be wiped out as well, and the Panda split not even used for that fight. Now the buybacks are going to be flying out. The relocate coming in to try and get K to safety, but Maglev, he's chasing the armlet pops. A few seconds is all he needs to get back to that sweet fountain. Mag gonna reveal his presence there, but that's gonna be about it. So K can be dragged back to the fountain. Rosh is still up, and OOT are going to be going for it right now. They're still holding on, and this could be a photo finish, frankly. Buyback available for the Nakes, available for the Brewmaster, available for the CK, and available for the Gyrocopter. So a pretty even split as far as buyback goes on both sides. Looks like I got a little bit of lag in the last few minutes, so hopefully that is cleared up at this point, since this could be the end either way. And OOT looking to wrap up the series here as well. Top lane pushing in pretty heavily, but do OOT have time to try and manage it? Looks like they're just going to go straight down mid. This is going to end the game either way. Those creeps pushing into the base. They've got a few ziggurats left to farm through. That will slow them down at least for a while, and the tier 4s might be able to hold this off. But OOT, they're looking to end this right now. There's not going to be a double polarity up for about 20 seconds. Our OOT just going to go straight for the tier 4s. Yes, they are. The Phantasm pops off. K looking for the initiation, but Maglev still going to work. The Brewmaster ultimate pops as well. K jumps forward, straight onto Maglev. 2-second stuns, all they need to try and bring him down. Immediately pops 100 seconds to respawn right now, and OOT just throwing themselves on the tier 4s at the moment, but the Panda Spirit not doing all that much. There's one reverse polarity thrown out. The reverse polarity stolen. Blink in. Polarity, they need this one right now, but where did Rubik go? Sheesh, Flux still going to work on the tier 4s, but this looks going to be about it. A couple of buybacks from OOT, but Nakes and the Clinks both on the sidelines, and creeps in the base. K and Wisp come straight in to try and get megas. Ice Path going to be thrown down along with the mischance. Can they hold on for long enough? There's going to be a Tether through, and they're actually going to take the CK back. So Mega Creeps still held on. Well, Mega Creeps still warded off right now by OOT. And buyback's now finally available for Clinks. There's still a buyback for CK, there's still a buyback for Setica. But are IN reconsidering their position right now? Oh god, so there's still a cheese up on Mag. There's no Aegis anymore. There's going to be a Brewmaster ultimate in about 50 seconds. There's going to be a double reverse polarity in 40. There's going to be a single reverse polarity in 40. A double in about a minute and a half. And looks like OOT, they're looking to end this right now. And without reverse polarities, this could be trouble. They should at least have one, perhaps 30 seconds. IN, can you hold it off? Phantasm not available either. Monkey King Bar up on the Chaos Knight, so not having... Well, sick of Brewmaster's shit right now, and they're actually going to go for the relocate straight back into the base. They don't actually have creeps, but is there a fortification or anything available? No, they're just going straight forward. Are there any TPs back? It's a bit of a base race. Are they going to leave the CK here? Maybe. No, they actually bring them back, and now Radiant Ancient under attack as well. The creeps are going to try and end this one, but it's the last team fight. Last valiant attempt from both sides. Brewmaster not able to get his ultimate off, and Flashbox now stunned up by the reverse polarity, which was stolen by Frigolite. Needs to get into this fight. He's got the blink. No, he's actually got the shockwave. Unlucky for him to call that in over the top. Nice Ice Path and the Macropire bringing Rio low, but 3 already dead on the side of OOT. Frequently dragged back in. Gonna pop off the Ghost Head to try and survive. Throwing out one more nuke onto Matori. Still chasing. GG gonna be called by OOT as the Creeps finish off the Ancient. And that's a 1-1 tie game for this grand final of this tournament. So we've got one more game coming up, guys. Stay tuned. Exciting stuff. So this was the Adroits TT Esports Dota 2 Weekly. As always, I am a very tired Baseskip bringing you guys this game, and I'll be back for the next game shortly, so stay tuned for that one.